what can we as a community do for you? And that's just awesome. It's like one of the best things about this, in addition to the coffee and the pastries and the location and the people, is to be able to ask what we as a community can do for you and then fill in that gap with answers. So today, like the other 100 and some odd locations, we're going to call up two presenters. They're going to present for 6 minutes. They'll tell you what they're working on, what's going well, what inspired them to get started, where they are in their maturation. And then they'll tell us what we can do to help. And then it's sort of a free form, right? You'll be like, oh, I have an idea, maybe there's somebody we can talk to or chat with, and hopefully we'll learn something, we'll be able to energize, we get some coffee, and we have fun. Go back to our day. We're hosted by Workbox. Is Cameron here? No? Well, he asked, when we have our OneMC hosted here, he asked if you wouldn't mind leaving a review. If you just got here, that's okay, you could experience it a little longer. But I can tell you that for all of you attending OneMC this morning, you are invited to stay and co-work for the day. So that's a nice opportunity. You can, if you want to take some meetings, you want to sit down, fire up a laptop, get some work done, please, after this, stay, relax, help us fold a chair, but enjoy and get some work done. Another couple of housekeeping things. OneMC is a nonprofit organization. They use registration counts as part of their grant application for funding. So it is so important that you let them know that you're here. So please scan the QR code. They're not going to hound you. They're not going to sell you anything. It's a nonprofit. But let them know you were here, you attended. They're not even going to ask for feedback. And then I'll leave that up there. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on LinkedIn. It's kind of funny. The 1 Million Cup Chicago page has more followers than 1 million cups. So well done, you. Round of applause for you. All right. That's it. That's my spiel. I'll come back up between the presentations, but I'm going to cue up the first one. And can we give a standing ovation to Christine? Come on.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. I am Christine from Brightfin. We are building social finance for the next generation. Here's a little bit about me. I am a recovering English major, okay? Also an older sister. I think that's relevant to what you're about to see here. I'm a product manager by trade, and I spend an embarrassing amount of time on TikTok.
You're not alone.
Yes, I know. So the origin story of Brightfin is right here. We asked some 20 to 22-year-olds, this is about 6 years ago. We asked 20 to 22-year-olds, what's your biggest fear about money? And they told us about built-up student loans, not being able to support a family, being trapped in poverty and struggling my whole life. Now, I want you to think about, after reading these, where this question might have been asked, where this might have taken place. And just, you don't need to say it out loud, just think about it in your head. Where might this have happened? This happened at Northwestern University, okay? So, an institution that people probably think of as a bastion of the North Shore elite, and this is what people are sitting there worried about. So if that is how they are doing, then how is everyone else doing? Not well, right? Raise your hand high if you think it's gotten better in the last 6 years. No, it has not. The vibes are most definitely off in 2025 when it comes to personal finance. So what are we going to do about it? Here's the problem that we see. There is a huge gap in the middle. What this chart shows is a logarithmic scale of net worth in the United States. And the gray part is the 30th to 80th net worth percentiles, okay? So the people in the middle. The problem is that all of the products that we have today are marketed to the extremes. So financial coaches to get you out of debt, you better learn to budget, you need personal loans, all of that is over here. And then over here we are optimizing our portfolio. We are already rich and we just want to get richer. Where does that leave everybody in the middle who has questions like, if I have $300 a month, should I pay off my student loans or invest it? If I invest it, should it be in a Roth IRA, 401k brokerage? What should I do with it? Is it even making sense to buy a house right now in 2025 and try to save for that, or should I put the money somewhere else? All of these basic questions. And by the way, who is right there in the middle? All of the young people. 55 million people between the ages of 18 and 39 in that 30th to 80th net worth percentile. And you have to be, by the way, in the range of $250 at a minimum, $250,000 in assets under management to get real financial advice. It's a great service, but it's unaffordable for most people. So who are we really talking about in terms of our target market? Well, we call them merits, middle earners rich in time. That is to say that everybody has loads of free time. Thank you for using it to come to this morning. But time in the market, time to figure out your life, time to make a mistake, time to fix it. The resource that is time. This is why Warren Buffett and Bill Gates are jealous of young people, because for all the money they have, they can't buy more time. Time is a resource. Young people are rich in time. So what is social finance? Well, personal finance today is something that you could address with a certified financial planner. You could go see them one-on-one, pay about $300 an hour, and they can serve about 100 clients like that. Over 100 clients, they can't serve very many more people, so their business model is not scalable. What we do is group people using AI, like the sorting hat from Harry Potter, to group people of similar needs and allow CFP to give advice to the group instead of one-on-one. So it's like mass transit for the financial journey and much, much more affordable. Now, we built that once. A little bit of the story of Redfin. We're kind of talking about two products at once here. So we built the advice part, and it wasn't the best place to start. So we pivoted to expense tracking. And where we're at now is we're kind of trying to talk about both of these products at once. This one is on the App Store already built, but the bigger one, the bigger vision piece is the advice part. So we're kind of struggling to talk about both of these things at once. Quick word about the budget app that is out there. Budget is a bad word, expense tracking may be better, but it's very, very simple. Only 4 categories: spend, splurge, save, and share. And all you have to do is swipe transactions to one corner of the screen or another. Loosely based on the 50-30-20 rule, but if that doesn't work for you, we have other options. So the debt crusher, if you want to save more, the wealth builder, if you want to save less, we have the YOLO, or in this economy. And this summer, everybody laughs at that, but it's also like not a joke. I mean, you know how to do it. This summer we have a challenge going where each of these groups has a goal, and if the collective group meets that goal, everybody's going to win prizes in September. Okay. So here is our QR code that has all of our stuff. You can follow us, you can download the app, there's a discount on it, etc. If you wish you were seeing a presentation today that actually taught you anything about money, you should know that I have a partnership with Misty Lynch, who is a certified financial planner. It is called Much Ado About Money. Feel free to invite us to another group to actually give you the basics that no one learned in school. Thank you. Yes. Here's how one MC can help, okay? I'm looking for a little bit of help with some growth hacking. The biggest thing that we need is more users, more eyeballs, okay? How might we attract more eyeballs without spending money, which the customers don't have, and we don't do that.
So give us some feedback on it. Tell us what you've done so far.
Yes, we have done quite a lot so far. I've got one more slide, so I want to kind of, and I want, by the way, out of the box ideas. I have a million ideas for social media content. I'm really looking for more stuff like growth hacking, partnerships, networking, go-to-market strategies we may not have thought of. We have done a lot before. We've done in-person events. We've done social media. We've done a lot of things. Some of it has worked, some of it has not. Specifically, the people we're trying to reach, and I think this is important, are in this roughly 25 to 34 age group. Younger than that, people don't really have the fear yet. Sure, they can use it, but we're trying to sell something to people who are not ready for it. So really, that's the target market. Older than that, financial needs start to get more complicated. The groups are more difficult to fill. So that's really our sweet spot. So far, our product is more popular with women than men. Take that for what it's worth. niches that we've discovered. People who have a lot of student loans, right? Obvious. Athletes and weekend warriors. There is a health and wellness kind of play here too. We want to lean into financial health is health. It supports everything else that you need to do. So if people are tracking macros and not their expenses, give me a break. Okay. Med students and graduates kind of ties into both of those. People who care about health but have a mountain of student loan debt as well. And lastly, ADHD, people with ADHD really like the swiping and kind of the on-the-go feature. So, that's what we're trying to find. What are some growth hacking, partnership, networking ideas to get there? Yeah, but they also don't know what it is. So let me have that one. Yes, I just wrote down yesterday, we need to talk to Feinberg School of Medicine. So the suggestion was graduate student partnerships at different universities. We haven't explored that in enough. Thank you.
So I found it really like that, and I think it's a great issue for the city jobs. You should say, I have about 25 schools in the world, and they plan to be number 80 universities to my house.
Wow. That sounds great. Let's talk. Yes, another university suggestion. Thank you. Thank you.
It comes up a lot in ONC events where we talk about sort of gatekeeper marketing. And for some of the presenters, their intent is to get access to many through a few. So you'll hear like some trade association or some finance club or a med student group that it's a great opportunity for us to piggyback with people that already have reach and already have exposure to the audience and already anyway. So you'll hear like the more you interact with people here, the more like maybe we can connect to this or connect to that. Gatekeeping is sort of like the hack for marketers.
Yeah. We need that like channel that expands. Yes. Thank you. The suggestion was local event groups, and you're running events, as I understand. So perfect.
I have a question and a suggestion. So the question is, you mentioned earlier that you're struggling to again differentiate between advice and advocacy. So the question is it all in one app or is it?
It's all in one app. We have a good sense of the product, but when we talk about messaging, we have the struggle we're having is messaging both of those kind of at the same time. One that's out and one that's just nice.
The suggestion that I have is like seeing what the possible to make that market
We could. The suggestion was to make the advice part the paid part and make the expense part free. That would be great eventually. I think right now we can't do that because we'd just be losing money that we have to pay to Plaid for the economic commission. But that's a future thing. Yeah, thanks.
Hi, I wonder if there's that is partnering with a therapist right here on a session about an ADHD money management or like your financial decade of money management. I think there's virality and then talking that usually is in marketing from after therapist, like this anecdotal studies. Also, my last year is not like looking at the math, and I did it, but I still did it. So,
And that relationship outlasted the therapist.
it did, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, really great presentation. I love your presentation skills. Very easy to hear you. My question is this, in regards to showing that you can share, I liked how you had the 4 swipes. I think you have so much data. Wouldn't it be awesome potentially, could you use that data for what you're having folks share to then show your users where that money has gone, such as athletes, maybe they're interested in showing all the money they've maybe been running in a race for Alzheimer's or like the walk. So having some kind of show of the good that you're doing by sharing as so much information that you're collecting within your content
Yeah.
there.
So kind of turning that category into context.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome, thank you, thank you. One more. Hi.
Maybe not a good idea, but
Always a great start.
maybe you could give your service away for free to one kid for college campus, and it sounds like you have, I think there's good offers for college kids that are just starting to figure out financial literacy, and have that person be an ambassador almost, who gets a small cut of whatever sales they make, and that way you put things on the ground, and there's a big person. Sounds like that's a good part of the
Yes, could be, more grad students. We are actually giving the advice away for free this fall for literally anybody, so we want to start there. But yes, seeding people at different places like that, yes. Thanks. I'm gonna move, we'll stop there. Hi.
Hello, I'm Lee. I'm a part of, like, my family business is financial consulting. So basically what we do is this part, not the app thing, but like the other advice part. So what we tell our clients is every client has different goals and everybody should do goal-based investing. So how are you, like the part of advice that you showed was that you're gonna curate different people, match their interests, put them together, and give them one financial advisor. But at the end of the day, each person has different goals and like their surroundings are different and their incomes are different. So how are you planning to bifurcate all of them and like putting them together so you can actually advise them all together?
Yeah, I think the answer is scale and starting a little bit younger. So yes, people have different goals, but the goals aren't really that different. It's pretty easy to imagine that somebody in Connecticut and somebody in Arizona have about the same income and student loan debt. Let's start there. So we're not trying to, say that that's not a good service, but rather offer something that's much cheaper and more affordable and more basic.
One, we have the one, can we take that one over here?
That's it for time. We're gonna move on.
Sorry, guys, in the back. Let's go ahead.
We're gonna be, I was on slides, we're gonna see some of those ideas.
Alright. Putting this back in the screen for anybody who joined late, just because those registration numbers are so important. I do want to thank a few people. We've already talked about Orthodox for hosting us. Hopefully you guys had a cup of coffee. That comes from us three. And mine is coffee. That's from you three. They've been a great partner, and they've actually introduced us to more partners. If you had some coffee, you actually put something in it. I want to thank some Paychecks. And if while you were drinking your coffee, you had a delicious pastry that came from Julissa at PNC, and I want to thank her as well. These new partnerships with Paychecks and PNC are especially important because, well, we want to see it for the community. We over-index with startups, and that's awesome, and it's inspiring, but we want to see it also for startups and small businesses. And we want to welcome more small businesses. We want to have that cross-pollination because there's a lot that entrepreneurs can learn from small businesses. And then there's a lot that we can teach to small businesses. So thank you, Julissa, for your support. Thank you, Rose, for yours, Paychecks and PNC. I wanted to ask if anybody else wanted to give, not sell something, but like an event that's coming up or an activity or something that the entire community is welcome to. Farrah, do you know of anything coming up this week?
So we are on an Apple iPad and we are launching in this month on Friday. The event is on Luma. We'd love you to show up. There's free burgers. There's a raffle draw, a helicopter ride. Hotel stay at the #1 Billina Vision in the world, and that's for someone
You have to come here more. I just dropped that nugget, and if you want to know what the hell that is, you can see me tomorrow, 6:30 at Midwest.
Last week at the Set Collective, where One MC was hosted, the Set Collective was hosted with Lollapop, which is a pop-up market before Lollapalooza. If you like being creative, if you're in that space, if you're looking to market to younger people, this is where to be. And all the sponsors that are typically at Lollapalooza, all the audio sponsors, visual sponsors are going to be there. So that's Friday, Saturday at the Set Collective. You can find it online, and it's free to attend.
Yes.
All right, I run an internship for young college students, freshmen and sophomores. They have completed their summer of fun. They have done website development, they have done app creation, they've done data dashboards, and we're having a showcase for the end of the summer. If you're looking for talent that's eager and ready to hire, come and join me on Wednesday at Discovery Partners Institute at the 200 South Wacker at 10 o'clock, and it'll be a fun day.
Next Wednesday? Next Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Come see me though, I'll give you an invite.
Awesome. Let's move on to our next presenter. Aisha, you want to come up? Let's give her a standing ovation.
Hang in there.
Look at that. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Aisha. I'm from ASL Spire. We are creating an online educational platform that teaches STEM to bachelor's degrees. So just a little bit about my background. I went to U of I. Background is in software engineering by trade, but I run operations for ASL Spire. I don't want to touch any line of code on this. But we kind of got started in our first year of undergrad. It was COVID. Everybody's online, and deaf students had no access to any digital tools. So just to give a little bit more background, American Sign Language is just like any other foreign language. So these deaf students who are at high school level are at an average 4th grade literacy level. So when COVID hit, and even before that, a lot of teachers that we interviewed were saying they either don't teach science at all within the classrooms, and they just send over to the curriculum directors apps for the student, or they attempt to teach them, but they're still very behind. So yeah, this idea kind of started from my co-founder. Her brother is hard of hearing, so she's been very involved with the community, and then she's also doing her PhD in speech and hearing science. So we started in our first year, and then yeah, we're 5 years in. We've been piloting and testing this product for the last 4 years. We're very research-based and academic-based, so most of everything we do is on learning outcomes, making sure that the students are actually learning, and we're not just another ed tech who gets funded and doesn't help any of the students. So, once again, like I said, we're building games. So, a little bit more about how the solution works. Let's see. Okay. So, the actual app is, for the student side, is fully game-based. So, all of the curriculum is fully embedded into games that make it fun for students. In our initial target market, we're focusing on middle school students because that's where they learn the core science curriculum, and then we'll be expanding out to K through 12 as a whole. Something that we've noticed is we've built out middle school modules, and high schoolers are using it because they're so behind. So right now, our current platform is mostly serving, I'd say, 5th to 12th grade, even though it's only 2 years of a science curriculum. So, I guess the other end of the problem is also that deaf people have been kept out of society for so long that the language doesn't exist. So if you're trying to teach chemistry, you have to spell everything in order to teach them in ASL. So I always say, science is already hard enough for us to learn in our native language, and then you put that, insane communication barrier, and it's basically impossible. So what we do is we also fund ASL linguists, deaf scientists, deaf mathematicians, the ones who actually
they can build out the language because they're severely underfunded. So in the beginning, we were first working with Rochester Institute of Technology, where they had got funding from the government to be able to build out ASL, specifically STEM science, but then they got underfunded, funds were cut for science research, and they were basically non-existent. So another branch of what we do is half of our team are these deaf scientists, mathematicians, engineers who are the first in their field to ever obtain degrees. And they made it. I don't even know how. I always talk to them and I'm like, I don't know how you made it this far, and it's insane and so inspirational. So I want them to A, be the front-facing videos that the kids see that you can do it, and then B, build out the actual language so that they can be able to learn it in their native language instead of having to learn English as a second language and then be able to learn science or math. So yeah, traction to date. We have some amazing partners in schools. We have been building out our platform for, like I said, the last 4 years. We're finally fully launching our games and our teacher dashboard portal so that it's easy for teachers to embed it into their curriculum. And so we have 3 big districts signed on for this next upcoming school year and about 12 independent schools. So really excited. We bootstrapped this, so all the funding we've gotten is from non-dilutive ways to be able to continue pushing this product out to people. And very quickly, this is kind of part of the ask, but we are a subscription model, so we sell directly B2B. Most deaf students are in either public schools or deaf residential schools, so we are primarily targeting those because that's where most of the students are, but we do have it open for B2C, especially for those parents, especially special ed parents. They really, really want to help their kids, but about 98% of parents who have deaf students don't know sign language, so they have no tools or resources. So we want to at least be able to help if they want to help out. And one more aspect of it is we do not charge for the videos. We make everything still accessible. So this is not me putting a price tag on accessibility. And then finally, my ask for today is, so we are branching out to more inclusive spaces. So bringing science education to other places around the U.S. So starting with science centers, museums, and zoos, where you learn science and making it more inclusive. So when you walk in, you don't have to have an interpreter follow you around. Right now, the average time is 2 weeks. You have to book an interpreter before you can walk into either SHED or MSI. And so something that we're working on is building out an app where you can just log on, be able to see any of the either placards or the TV screens fully in ASL, and then be able to learn from there. There's a lot of learning that's also done outside the classroom, so we want to continue pushing that forward. But my ask for you today is, this feels random, but this is our main revenue source right now. It's about 80% of our revenue is fully through science centers, museums, and zoos because they are faster sales cycle than B2B schools, as you may know. And so we have found a lot of success, and this is our go-to-market, getting our word out there, continuing pushing for science education. At the core, the videos are the same. So if I make, a video for SHED about, penguins, and then, a science teacher can go back and teach that in their classroom about, whatever, photosynthesis or whatever it may be. But we can just read the curriculum in any shape or form. So it makes sense on my end, like in my head, but I would love to hear what you guys have to say in terms of how do we kind of convey this message within either our business model, the messaging of kind of the story of where it came about, because it is a big stream of revenue for us right now, and this is our go-to-market. So yeah, that's all I have. Thank you guys.
My first question was, for your technical development, was your platform, who's handling that on your team, and do you see that as a limitation or something you need assistance with as you build out?
Yeah, so on the technical side, I think we're good. I will say, so all of our videos are filmed, like I said, by mathematicians, scientists, engineers, and that takes a long time. So fully filming a video takes, like, a 10-minute video can take up to 2 to 3 months because getting it right, like on the filming side, editing, it's all green screen, so animating in the background, making it fun for the kids, captioning, the whole 9 yards. That takes a long, long time. So we're still figuring out how to streamline that process, but in terms of the technical side, I think we're good.
Have you used AI to try to make those videos?
So we don't necessarily use AI AI in the sense of replacing our scientists, because I think one of the core principles of the product that we're serving is that these students see somebody who's actually made it in their field, or in any field, right? Seeing a role model. So 3 out of 4 deaf students don't have hearing parents. So if you don't have the same access to the resources that your parents were given, it's really hard to look up to them, and because you're just not given the same rights for equitable access. So we want to make sure that like they see somebody who's made it that looks like them, feels like them, you know. So we haven't necessarily streamlined the process with AI of like the actual person filling it, but we are thinking of ways of like streamlining the editing process with AI. I think there's still a long ways to go with AI for that though.
Yeah. Great.
So we're asking about like how to make a system of value to the business model. I think if you talk about it as it's like MSI is sponsoring a video on one of their exhibits or on X topic, so that you can use that to teach also on the platform. Like we can talk about this as like yes, it's good for MSI and they are buying the video review, but that is like in some ways like sponsored content. And so you have roughly like 4 most museums and educational whatever in the world sit here to say like they sponsored content so that everyone can learn about it.
From one of your previous pitches, if I remember correctly, you mentioned working with Chicago Public Schools, and I graduated from a CPS school, and I know many teachers and students who would appreciate this. I wonder if, like, instead, and I know you're looking to collaborate with, like, science museums, and you probably already thought of this, but I wonder if it would also be as beneficial if you, like, connected with those teachers, because maybe they have, like, connections to like the museums or like to other partnerships. I know like my school, we had free visits to the Chicago History Museum whenever. So then I'm sure like the teacher who like organized that might be able to set something up, and et cetera. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say teachers are lovely and great. However, they I can relate to that power within the like buying power in terms of like making things happen within the school system. So we do work directly with a lot of teachers in terms of like onboarding and getting feedback on the platform. But yeah, specifically with like partnerships, it's really difficult to get from like the teacher to like a partnership with like SHED. Something we are working on is working with like bigger schools. So we have a contract with NASA, and so Texas School for the Deaf wanted to bring their kids in, but NASA, like Houston Space Center, was not accessible, so they didn't want to bring their kids in. So something we're still trying to figure out is kind of like which one comes first. Do we start working with the school first, or do we start working with NASA first? And that's something that we're still kind of like trying to figure out, because our platform is made for both to make either accessible. So we're trying to kind of just like merge that gap and figure out the best way to break into both markets.
Cool.
Just a suggestion or like half-baked idea is, so I worked in the STEM education space for a little while, and there was a really key partner for me that unlocked things, and I'm wondering if there is a potential partnership there. So it's a platform called Explorable Places that specializes in experiential education, and what she has done so well is institutional partnerships. So even if it's just a conversation with you and that founder about how she's taken her tech platform and been able to nail these partnerships, that could be something. But she has crushed it, like knocked it out of the park, and went from one site to working across the country, and she has these partnerships with science centers. So happy to make that introduction if it's helpful.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Me?
Well, are you familiar with Junior Achievement? achievement. So junior achievement teaches financial literacy, K-12 up to 16, right? They are a nonprofit, but you don't have to be. But what they have is an amazing curriculum that, I don't know, gives access to people, and it can be used any place. As soon as you said the institutional, I'm glad Emily said that to you. I strongly encourage you to consider that model. Look at that model, not as a nonprofit, but as a for-profit, the institutional relationship. But I think the economic issue is, look at how many people aren't coming to Nassau, aren't coming to the parks, or how much money are you keeping on the table because you're not accessible? Look at the globe, all the tourism that would come if you had this. They pay for you to create everything. And now that it's paid for, now, just like JA, schools ask them and invite them in to use their curriculum. But instead of thinking like I need to sell it to a school because I agree with you, it's more, I have a curriculum that you can use, but I think your first step is definitely what you're doing. And I wouldn't worry about schools that way. I know that I'm going to serve them, but your product is accessibility to the information. And I think from there you get to the next.
Absolutely, thank you.
We're making a new rule that if you have very insightful feedback, you guys come up with this. Yeah, one more.
Just because you talked about growth hacking, earlier, we talked about how you work with user base. When you part of associations, a really thing, I ran a daily website, and we would always give merchants a hacker that said that they would give them a sticker that would go right on their front door. So thinking about like an ASL Aspire certification, or something that these locations can now put in there, within village, or you can get folks trained on, should be a way to kind of increase the awareness for the app, but then also users going to the folks going to these venues and say, hey, what's this ASL Aspire? And so think about things like that are ways that you can figure use those protection.
Yeah, we're definitely working on better ways of advertising, so I put in blog posts and sites that people can see who made this video. Yeah, it's tough. These are big institutions. Even with Shed, I've ran 10 circles around 100 different people. So yeah, trying to figure out just the best way to also kind of merge the gap, because this is a communication problem too. So a lot of times it's I'm working with curriculum directors, but I'm also working with communications, of making sure that every person who walks in has access to any material they have out. So yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, Christine. Please come up for your 1MC swag. This is raise your hand if you're a past presenter. I think I counted 5. 1, 2, 5, 6. Sorry. Oh, Arlo's in the back. Arlo's always in the back helping us with the coffee. It's a great opportunity that you saw today. You come and tell your stories and maybe get a little stock to encourage you to kind of present your startup, your small business. Connor, I just saw you a second ago. Connor's in the back.
Sorry, right here.
Yay! If you're interested in presenting, we go to the website and all the rest.